All right, we wanted to do a Phoenix Wright one. We'll probably do that. I don't want to do anything with the third game. I don't want to do anything about the third game. I just want to do the first and second game, but I don't think we can do that. Although, to be fair, I guess I kind of already know who most of the characters are, so we'll just go based on the characters that I know. I don't think just seeing their character design is that big of a spoiler. All right. This one we're gonna kind of do rapid fire because there's a lot of fucking characters here. This dude was, nah, he wasn't even. He was a bad villain. I didn't care. His story was whatever. I really didn't give a flying fuck about what happened with him. Adrian Andrews, ballin', waifu. She had that, like, on the surface, I'm the fucking, you know, I'm in charge, but beneath it was that soft, you know, that soft, insecure, like, her going back and forth was, like, some of the most, like, heartbreaking things I've seen in this game. So, Adrian's S level. Don't know who he is, don't know who this person is. What's his, I forget his name. He was actually a pretty good client, I thought. He was interesting. No. This isn't who I think it is. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of this guy. She was in chapter 5 of the first one. But yeah, he was pretty cool. He was an interesting client. I liked him. It felt good getting him off the hook. She was actually pretty hysterical as like an antagonist. Waiter guy, he was fine. I liked his character. I love how he was like secretly just like all about Hollywood or whatever. Puppet guy sucked, but sucked less than that dude. Kid was kind of annoying, but all right as a kid. I actually liked her a lot as like the Mia replacement, but I thought she did a really good job as the Mia, being different but also kind of the same. She was boring. I didn't really, because she always had the food, right? And I'm like, okay. Oh, put on the suit? Could do that. Oh, you just wait. You just wait. We're gonna save a couple of these for later for more in-depth analysis. This guy was boring. He died really fast, but I disliked him less than these two. You are fine. I kind of like his character. I don't think I like it more than the waiter though, so we're gonna go high C. I actually liked Eeny Miny a lot. Oh, here. I liked what developed in that story. I thought that was really cool. I didn't see that switch coming. The Desperado cowboy guy was really cool. Hell yeah, Pilgrim. Lana was okay. She's pretty good. I think her issue though was she felt too much like Mia. Unlike her sister, which was less like Maya. So put her like here. Harry's fine. I'm not a huge fan of him, but he does his role okay. I forget her name, but she was interesting enough in the one case that you saw her. Harry added a little bit more than she did though, so we're gonna put her there.
It's Larry, not Harry.
I keep saying Harry. I fucked that up once, and now I haven't been able to get rid of that.
Well, to be fair, that is the pun they're going for. So
yeah,
I can't blame.
Oh god. Will Powers was actually kind of cool. I liked him. I like that they brought him back later. He's just that lovable doofus. I forget his name, but he sucks. He's an awful attorney. We only have him there to be the tutorial attorney because that's how bad he is, so he's low tier. This guy also sucked. I wasn't a huge fan of him. He was just kind of goofy and annoying. He was in chapter 5, I think, too, which Chuckles was awful. Fuck him. God, I hated when he was on screen. Old Bag's really annoying, but she does her annoying really well, at least. Like, that's what she's supposed to do. So, low B. A lot of hearts, yeah, she's a B. Not in that way. Pain, that's right. Pain's his fucking name. Painful to watch him on screen. This dude's hysterical. That guy's hilarious and I love him. This guy was actually kind of an interesting tutorial villain. So we'll put him there. This dude sucked. Mr. White was actually a pretty fucking good villain. We're gonna put him up there. The Steel Samurai director was also pretty good. I enjoyed his character a lot. Old Grandpa, whatever the fuck his name was okay, but not anything spectacular. She's like mid-C. I forget her name, but she was alright, I guess. Her innocence. I actually thought she was gonna end up being evil and she wasn't. She just was an innocent girl who was just a little oblivious. So we'll put her like here. Mia and Maya's aunt was actually kind of disappointing. I expected a little more from her. But she was still okay, I guess, so we'll put her there. I liked the backstage assistant or whatever. Her character was done well, I think. I think I'm gonna put her ahead of, yeah. Velasquez was actually a pretty good villain. I liked her like mob mentality. I thought that was really well done. So we're gonna put her here, right next to her assistant. Actually put her ahead of there. Even though her design was like kind of, I didn't think it really matched her all that well. I thought her character was actually pretty interesting. Parrot, like, I guess. I mean, it's a fucking parrot. It didn't add anything. Phoenix is a mid-B. I hate how the game portrays him as a fucking idiot all the time, despite all that he's accomplished. It doesn't make any sense. He should be given more credit by the game. And apparently that finally happens in Trials and Tribulation. But again, this is only through the first 2 games. Gumshoe, I like. Probably here. He's an A. He's an A. He's good. He really plays his role well. So I have no, I don't, he's annoying, but in the ways that he's supposed to be annoying. The assassin actually turned out to be kind of cool, especially when you were like going against him with the radio. Moonlighting is like the butler or whatever. I thought he was pretty cool. Top tier, well, high tier villain. High tier villain. Had no idea that that was going to happen. The whole big reveal, no idea. That case was pretty sick, actually. The ending was also a fantastic way to wrap it up. I actually liked Gant's character a ton. Gant's character was one of the two, these are the 2 big reasons I could stand Chapter 5. Because other than that, Chapter 5 sucked. It sucked balls. Actually, I guess he was pretty cool, too. But Chapter 5's story was awful. The cases were put together in very ridiculously convoluted ways. It just, no.
And it drug on forever.
Forever. I want to delete this. Mia is high A, but she's not S. And partly it's because they keep bringing her back, and I think the story relies on her as a crutch for spirit channeling way too often. I don't like it. Not necessarily the character's fault, but it also gets you, you don't get to experience the character the way you were, I think, like the actual characters. You're experiencing only the channeling, only for specific situations. And I think that hurts the character a little bit. And that's why I wouldn't put her in S, but otherwise she's fantastic. Pearls is adorable. There's just no way around it. She's so innocent. Her speech is hilarious. When she's been a very good ad to have around. I was actually worried that she was gonna be like too like cutesy annoying, but she's been great. I like Pearl's character a lot. Maya's a fantastic supporting character. She almost comes off as though she's supposed to be annoying, but I don't find her annoying at all. And I was actually really sad when she left at the end of 1. Because she's really fun to have around. Her like quirks are really endearing. Her design's cool without being like, okay, this is ridiculous. Because it is kind of ridiculous, but not so much so that it's like, it's distracting. I understand he serves his role. He does it for the sake of the game. I have a personal dislike, purely for personal reasons, dislike of Judd. Doesn't necessarily make sense narratively. Well, I think the problem is that he's a little unbelievable narratively, so I guess it does kind of have something to do with the narrative itself. He is unbelievably incompetent. Just having everybody do everything for him. That's not what judges are. That is not a good representation of a judge. He fucking sucks. I understand he does it so that the game can progress the way it does. And maybe the game wouldn't be as interesting if they actually use even a real-life incompetent judge. He is a fictionally incompetent judge, which is so much worse. He does add some tension breaking, right? But good lord, he talks and I'm like, it's hard. It is actually hard for me to believe what he says. This is a problem that and it's a personal issue, 100%. I have a problem actually. This is where I have the biggest problem distinguishing my real life profession from the game. I can do it in a lot of other areas. The judge is so unbelievably bad at his job, and it pisses me off knowing that he probably sentenced people to death, guilty, then to death. Or no, I think the higher courts give them the sentencing them guilty, and they were actually innocent because of how brutally incompetent he is. Just unbelievably incompetent. So, Von Karma, bar none, best villain in the game. Best villain. Straight up fucking villain. That dude was hilariously and greatly over the top. I loved it. I loved everything about him. Why is he not above Francisca? He's only around for one case, and even so, he casts a huge shadow. The other reason is that Francisca isn't just a villain. She's actually an integral character, from what I understand is what is going to happen. Justice for All made it very obvious. She's not just a villain. She's more than a villain. And that's what puts her above her father. She's just as over the top, even the addition of the whip, but also having some actual goodness to her heart that makes her a more dynamic character. She's not just a cartoonishly villainous character. She's somebody who actually is dynamic, and I bet's going to be interesting, even more interesting going forward. What I assume is going to happen happens. Loved her character. Loved her character. The anti-hero. My favorite type of hero. Edgeworth is definitely the best character. Hated him in the beginning, but that was because I was supposed to. His character growth, how his character is by the end of Justice for All, fantastic. It was a disappointment when he was not around for a lot of the game. But it was all building to him coming back because of how good of a character it was. You're like, here's Edgeworth, here's Edgeworth. Oh my god, Edgeworth is coming, Edgeworth is coming, Edgeworth. He is the perfect foil for Phoenix Wright. And he helps to drive the game to the heights that he had. He is absolutely the best character in these games. And I didn't have to think twice about it. Once I got here, I'm like, Edgeworth's gonna be the best. That's why I created the best character tier. He is just a fantastically designed character. taken after the Von Karma over-the-top appearance and sometimes presentation, while also still having a conscience and having that background where he started off in this noble way, but ends up losing loses sight of it because of these issues that he runs into, but gains it back. That is just fantastic character development. And I love it. I love it. Maybe, like I said, the issue with Von Karma compared to these two is that he's not as dynamic. He's a well-done, cartoonishly villainous character, and I love those characters. I love when they're done over the top and well. But I can't, when you have characters that are this dynamic, and she's basically him except dynamic, right? But there is no character more dynamic than Edgeworth, and that's why he gets the top spot. Von Karma would have to change in some way for me to put him over Edgeworth. So yeah, we're not doing these because I haven't played Trials and Tribulations yet. We'll add these later. But for now, this is what we got. I think that's a pretty good list. Some of the villains I could see people switching around, some of the witnesses. I feel like these 5 in particular, or 6 in particular, are purely personal preference. How much I enjoyed their characters, but I could see people finding those characters annoying. But then once you get up here, actually, I'm gonna make one change. Ungard was a better villain than White was, but I did like White a lot as a villain. Even though what happened with him ultimately didn't make any fucking sense to me. Some characters may have been better had they get more screen time. Some of them were just developed poorly, like Mia Maizan. She was okay as like, yeah, you could tell this fucker's hiding something, right? But like other than that, they put her away and I was like, I didn't feel particularly strongly about it. Yo, what's up, Bill? Tier list, my dude. Tier list. Oh, Full Metal Alchemist characters.